Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dante Toro, and today I have something a little different for you guys. I will be going through the entire WWE roster and deciding whether I think each superstar will win a championship within the next year or not. I hope you guys enjoy this video, but before we get started, please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on those notification bells so when videos like this and other daily wrestling content comes out, you can watch those videos as soon as they drop. Thank you all for being here. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And let's predict some future champions. The first superstar we have is AJ Styles. And as much as I would love to sit here and say I think AJ Styles will win a world championship this year, I don't think that's the case. But I do think he could compete for maybe an Intercontinental or United States Championship. I do think there is potential that he can win a mid-card title and maybe a tag team if they pair him with someone, but I think that's the furthest we'll go in the next year. It would be really cool to see Akira Tozawa get a little run under his belt, maybe go after a mid-card title, but I can't see him winning anything more than the Tag Team Championship with Alpha Academy, or maybe the Speed Championship, if we want to count that here with the introduction of the IC and the US belts. It gives people like Alba Fire more opportunities to chase championships, and with her involvement in the Secret Service with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, maybe she's involved in the tag team championship picture. I think US title, tag team championships, that could be on the radar for Alba Fire this year. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Motor City Machine Guns, absolutely, I think will win tag team gold in the next year. They might even win it at WrestleMania in a few weeks, but for sure. I would like to think that WWE would push Alexa Bliss back into the championship picture, whether it was a mid-card or a world championship. I don't know if she would be included in a world title picture. Never say never. I think in the right story, it could work, but I can see her winning maybe a mid-card or a tag team championship with Nikki Cross if she does join the Wyatt Six. If that does happen, I can see her and Nikki Cross getting their hands on tag team gold again. I pray to God Andrade wins a singles championship or just something in 2025 within the next year, because if there's someone that deserves a solid solo title run, it's Andrade. He should have won the United States Championship at this point. I have no idea why or how the belt hasn't been put on him. I'm going to say the same thing about Berto when we get to him, but Angel and Berto, I think, should be involved in the tag team championship picture this upcoming year. I think the tag team championship or just the tag team division is starting to grow and starting to get better, so I would like to see other teams like Angel and Berto potentially getting a shocking tag team championship win or being built up as credible championship contenders and winning the championship within the next year. I think it's pretty possible. One thing I will point out before I continue is I'm not counting current champions and NXT superstars because there's a lot of NXT superstars, and picking champions from right now, I feel like that doesn't really make sense. So I'm leaving off current champions and NXT superstars just so we're all on the same page. Apollo Crews, well, he's got to get on TV first, so I'm going to say no right now. I think Asuka could be thrown into any championship picture, whether it's a world championship, mid-card, or tag team. I think at this point, it might make the most sense that she'd win a tag team championship with Kairi Sane and Damage Control. I'm not too sure if I see a singles championship in Asuka's future. I don't think Austin Theory has a singles title in his future. I don't even know if he has a tag team championship in his future, because him and Waller should be breaking up very soon. And in that case, I think Theory will be away from the championship picture, but he could still be competing for a mid-card championship in some cases, but I don't think he'll win one. I think B-Fab will be a very good opponent for a mid-card championship like the IC or US championship. I don't know if I see her winning one within the next year, but I think WWE has done a good job of building her up and one day can win a mid-card or just any women's championship. I can see Bayley winning some championship gold, whether it be a mid-card or a tag team. I don't know if she'll win a world championship within the next year. Winning the IC belt, United States tag team, I think is very possible. When Becky Lynch does come back, she's got to be thrown into a championship picture, whether it's a world championship, a mid-card. I personally was thinking Becky Lynch would come back, fight for the IC championship at WrestleMania, but we're not getting that. I think it's very likely that Becky Lynch does win a championship, whether it be world, mid-card, tag team. Becky Lynch will win gold again within the next year. Not going to go in circles. I think Berto and Angel could very well win tag team championships this year. I think Bianca Belair could be walking out of WrestleMania as the World Heavyweight Champion. I think that's a good place for Bianca to win. And if she doesn't, I think she's definitely going to win a world championship within the next year. It's been too long since she's held one. Braun Strowman has been featured, in some big matches, big feuds recently, but I don't know if he's a guy that WWE would put a title on at this point, because I don't know if he's a guy that necessarily needs a title because he's an attraction for how big he is, how athletic he is. When Bronson Reed is back from his injury, I want WWE to push this guy to the fucking moon. I want him to win a championship. Forget the tag team championships. Don't want that. He needs to win the Intercontinental Championship or United States Championship. Have him win a mid-card. I'd say World Championship, but I don't think he's there quite yet. One day. Absolutely one day. When he comes back, he deserves a big push. Brutus, as well as Julius, I think should win tag team championships within the next year. I'm honestly surprised they haven't won championships yet. I think that they are one of the most underrated, up-and-coming, one of the most talented tag teams on the roster, to be completely honest with you. And I think tag team gold should be in their future. If not, I would be very surprised. I can see Candice LeRae maybe winning a tag team championship, maybe being involved in the mid-card scene, going after some championships, but I don't know if she'll win one. She is technically the current speed champion. I know I said I wouldn't talk about champions, but it's the speed championship. Maybe she'll have a long speed championship reign. Maybe she'll win it a few times. I know this isn't going to be cool, but Carlito is not winning a championship within the next year. Carmelo Hayes better win a fucking championship within the next year. If he doesn't, there's something wrong. We're at a point where he's teaming up with The Miz. They're awesome. Makes me want to throw up in my mouth. We need to get him away from that. We need to get him back on track, have him be involved in championship pictures, have him win the U.S. belt this year. I know Jacob Fatu, we'll get to him, but come on, man. Him and Braun Breaker got called up. They were supposed to be the two biggest NXT call-ups, and Braun Breaker's doing his thing. Carmelo Hayes, I've been supportive of, like, we're getting him there, we're building his character and everything, but then they started putting him with The Miz, and now I'm like, I can't defend this anymore. So break up with The Miz tomorrow and put him right back into the championship picture. He should win a championship within the next year. I'm confident that he will. I want to be confident that Chad Gable is going to win a championship, but the way WWE has booked him over the last year or two, I don't know. He should. That's the thing. I still can't believe they had Sami Zayn win it at WrestleMania last year. It was a great match, and I love Sami Zayn, but that should have been Chad. It should have been Chad. I will die on that hill. He would be so perfect with the IC belt. He would be the perfect Intercontinental Champion or the United States Champion. It doesn't matter. He would make both belts feel so prestigious. He'd have incredible matches, would do incredible work with anyone he stepped in the ring with, any program. I'm hopeful. I'll say yes, he will win a championship within the next year. Charlotte Flair, she shouldn't, but she's probably going to at WrestleMania. Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, Motor City Machine Guns, I think they will definitely be winning tag team championships this year. Now, this is an interesting one because CM Punk is not going to be going after mid-card championships. He's not going to be going after IC belts, United States, or even tag teams. It's world championship or bust. And I don't think he's going to win a world championship within the next year. I think next year's WrestleMania, if they build up the story, they do it right, that could be the moment where he wins a world championship. I do think he will win a world championship before, he eventually does retire and stuff. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. He is just bigger than a belt. The name CM Punk is more valuable, more prestigious than the championship, I think. So he doesn't need a world championship, but he will win one eventually, just not within the next year. I think Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde, will get to him a little bit, should be involved in the tag team picture. Like I said, the tag team division is starting to get better, starting to bulk up, and I think having new challengers like the LWO or new faces being involved in the tag team picture would be great for the division. I think the tag team championships are the most likely championship to be passed around more than others, so I can see LWO getting their hands on it at some point. I've been rooting for Dakota Kai to win the women's IC championship belt since it got introduced and since she's gotten a rematch for it. If she stays healthy, I think Dakota Kai should win a championship, hopefully a singles championship within the next year. I can see Damian Priest being involved in mid-card title scenes, but I don't think he's going to be winning world championships in the next year. I think at some point he will win a world championship again because I would like to see him with a second reign, but I think the furthest we'll go is a mid-card championship. Dexter Lumis and just the Wyatt Six in general, I don't know if that's a group that will be winning championships. I can see them maybe winning tag team championships. Like I mentioned, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, maybe winning the women's tag team championships. Maybe Dexter and Joe, maybe Dexter and Rowan. I don't know. Maybe you pick a combination of the two. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could. Dominic Mysterio, 1,000%, 1,000,000% should win a championship within the next year. I'm pushing for him to win at WrestleMania 41. That is the moment that Mysterio turns on Finn, kicks him out of the Judgment Day, and wins the IC belt. And I want him to hold on to that belt, be a shitty little heel, hold on to it, defend it in the cheapest way possible. I want him to have the best heel IC title run ever. Yes, Dominic Mysterio will win a championship within the next year. I am most confident about that. Dragon Lee, 1000% should be featured on television more, and 1000% should be involved in more championship matches, pictures, whether it be mid-card, tag team, whatever. But I don't know if I trust WWE to do that. Maybe he wins a tag team championship with the Ray and the LWO, but I think that's the furthest we'll go. If Drew McIntyre doesn't win a championship within the next year, I would be ripshit pissed. This guy puts his body through hell. This guy puts guys over in feuds. He takes the back seat to a lot of other guys, and it's where we need to reward Drew. We've been saying this for a very long time now, but we still haven't gotten to the point where we feel like Drew has gotten what he deserves, and that is a long, solid world championship title reign. He got his moment at WrestleMania. That's amazing, but he only held the belt for like 5 minutes. We need an actual championship reign. I think it could very much so happen, depending on what's going on with the WWE Championship picture on SmackDown. Drew should get back involved in there, and he should win a WWE Championship, the WWE Championship, within the next year. Elton Prince of Pretty Deadly. I think Pretty Deadly should absolutely win tag team championships within the next year. I think they are a fantastic tag team. They are great characters, and I think they would be great tag team champions. Eric Rowan, same thing I said about Dexter Lumis. Maybe a tag team championship with the Wyatt Six. Finn Balor. I mean, maybe. I mean, if he separates himself from the Judgment Day, anything is possible at that point. I would like to see him involved in championship pictures, and who knows, maybe we'll get a shocking win one of these days, but Finn needs to rack up some wins under his belt, some solo wins, just to build up some more credibility. Going off of what we've seen from Finn and how he's been booked for the last year or two, I shouldn't be too confident or optimistic. I think there's a chance, just not a huge chance. Unfortunately for Grayson Waller, I do not think he'll be winning a championship this year, especially if him and Theory break up. I don't see Waller being involved in any championship picture after that. My God, I want him to return and immediately get pushed into the IC title, or fuck it, if Gunther's still the World Heavyweight Champion, push him into a feud with Gunther and have him beat him. Like, Ilya is special. He has been severely missed since he's been gone with an injury and everything, but when he comes back, he needs to be shot to the moon in a good way, and he needs to win a championship. I can see Ivan Al being involved in the mid-card scene, especially with American Made. I would like to see all four of them hold championships at some point, and Ivan Al has been involved in number one contenders matches, championship matches, so why not? I can see Ivan Al winning a championship within the next year. I said I was most confident about Dominic Mysterio. That was a lie. I am most confident about Mr. Jacob Fatu winning a championship. He's winning the US belt at WrestleMania. He just has to. Jacob Fatu is he is I don't have the words. He is insane, one of a kind, one of one, a generational talent. Jacob Fatu has as bright of a future as anyone in WWE. I think he is going to win many championships in his future, but we are going to get started at WrestleMania in a few weeks with the United States Championship. So yes, I think Jacob Fatu will win a title this year. I actually think Jade Cargill will win a championship this year. I can see her being involved in the mid-card championship. Let her hold on to a mid-card title, get some, big matches, big feuds under her belt, and I think that's kind of how we get her to the next step as far as like being a world championship contender. I don't think JD McDonough will win a championship within the next year. Maybe a tag team championship within the Judgment Day. Maybe him and Carlito. Maybe they shock the world and become the new world's greatest tag team, but I'm going to say no for JD. I do want Gunther to win at WrestleMania, but I believe Jey Uso will win. He's so popular. Everyone loves him. He sells so much merchandise. He makes the company a lot of money. It makes sense that they're going to make him a world champion. I don't know how long he'll be a world champion for, but I do think he will win it in the next few weeks. Not even the next year, just in the next few weeks. Absolutely. Have him go after the US belt. Have him win the US belt. He deserves the same shine that Jay has gotten. Jimmy has put in so much work this past year. He has improved so much in the ring, on the mic. Give him a solo run. He deserves it just like his brother. Like I mentioned earlier with Cruz del Toro, I think him and Joaquin Wilde could absolutely win tag team championships within the next year. Maybe Joe Gacy wins a tag team championship in the Wyatt Six, but that's the furthest I'll go. John fucking Cena. John Cena, ladies and gentlemen. Will he win his 17th world championship in 2025 before he retires? I think he does. Is that going to happen at WrestleMania? At this point, it's up in the air. I honestly don't know who's going to walk out of WrestleMania as champion. I do think he will ultimately win the 17th championship within the next year, whether as a face, a heel. It's got to happen. Julius Creed, Brutus Creed, the Creed brothers. They should win a tag team championship within the next year. Kairi Sane's been out of action the last few months, but when she does return and rejoin Damage Control, I can see her being involved in the tag team championship picture with Asuka or Dakota Kai or someone. As long as she's in Damage Control, I think the odds of her winning a tag team championship or something will always be there. I don't know if it's super high, but I think there's a possibility. I don't think Karrion Kross will win a championship, but he has been doing incredible work. I think he is one of the most underrated characters and wrestlers on the roster, and I think his time will come. But I don't know if he'll win one in the next year. Maybe after in 2026. I don't know. I would like to see it happen, but I just don't see it happening. Unfortunately, with Kevin Owens' new injury announcement and everything, I don't think he'll be winning a championship within the next year. Kiana James has been out for a long time, and honestly, when she comes back, I don't know if she'll be thrown into championship pictures. Maybe they'll build her up, but I'm going to say no to her. Kit Wilson, I'm rooting for Pretty Deadly. I would love to see them win a tag team championship within next year. I think it's pretty possible. Kofi Kingston. Yes, I think the New Day should win tag team championships as heels. I think the start of their heel run, it hasn't been great. It really hasn't been memorable besides the whole segment with Big E. Putting tag team championships on them, I think will cement them as bigger heels. Going off of his United States Championship reign, Logan Paul should not win a championship within the next year. And one other thing, he shouldn't be AJ Styles at WrestleMania either. Ludwig Kaiser should 1,000% win a championship in the next year. He has been amazing on Monday Night Raw, being involved in the mid-card title scene. I would love to see him win the IC belt, maybe the US belt, bring back the European Championship. I've seen some people talk about that possibility and that may be happening. I think he should win a solo championship. He'd be so good as champ. I don't think Maxine Dupree will win a championship. Maybe she'll win a tag team championship because I know we're going to start this story with her and Natalya being a tag team. Who knows where that goes? Michin has been involved in the Women's United States Championship picture, and I would like to think that at some point in the next year, they will reward her and give her a solid run. I think Michin will win a championship. Since she's been back on the main roster, she has done incredible work. She's been involved in this Bianca, Jade, taking out Jade Cargill storyline, and she's been awesome in it. I think her winning a mid-card championship definitely should be in her future. I don't know if she'll win a world championship. Her and Bianca, they'll probably have a feud for the world championship belt if Bianca does win. But I don't know if Naomi will win it. Like I mentioned with Maxine, I can see her winning maybe a tag team championship now that they're together, a new tag team. Who knows where that goes? But I don't see Natalya winning a solo championship in the next year. Nia Jax will always be a threat, so I always think that there will be a chance that she wins a championship. Right now, she isn't involved in any championship pictures. That can change quickly, so I wouldn't be surprised if Nia won a championship. Nikki Cross, the only way I see it happening is if she wins a tag team championship with Alexa Bliss. The only way for Omos to win a championship if he's featured on television, and he hasn't been on television in over a year. So I'm going to say no. Otis. I would actually love a mid-card reign from Otis. I think he's so I don't know. He's had a weird, interesting career. He's held tag team championships. He held a Money in the Bank for whatever reason. And he's been in the tag team picture for a while. He had the feud with Gable that really didn't do much for him. I wish it did more. I don't think he's going to win a mid-card championship. Maybe a tag team championship with Alpha Academy. At this point, I think it's crazy to think that Penta won't win a championship in 2025 because the way that this guy has been pushed, it's insane. He's going to be involved in the championship picture at WrestleMania. I've been talking about Dominic Mysterio winning. They 1,000% could just give it to Penta at WrestleMania, and that wouldn't shock me at all. Whether he wins at WrestleMania or not, he 1,000% should and will win a championship. I can see Pete Dunne winning a tag team championship with Tyler Bate, but I don't know if he'll win a mid-card championship. He's been competing for them and been involved in the mid-card, and I think it would be cool seeing him, involved in that still, but I think the tag team championship division is where he'll be for now. I can see Piper Niven winning a tag team championship. I can even see Piper Niven winning the US championship. Piper Niven will turn on Chelsea Green, and that could lead to Niven taking the championship off her. And if that happens, I think that would be a pretty cool story. As much as I love R-Truth, I do not think he will be winning a championship in the next year. Maybe if they bring back the 24/7 belt, maybe as a speed champion, but No, I don't think so. Randy Orton's interesting because he is a legend. He is a guy that we want to see holding championship gold. But I said it with CM Punk. He might be well, he not might be. He is bigger than a championship. He doesn't need a championship. He did tell Cody that at some point he will be going for number 15, and I do think Randy Orton will and should rack on a few more world championship wins to at least get to John Cena's 16. I think he should. That's just my opinion. People might think differently, but Randy Orton will continue winning championships throughout his career. But within the next year, I'm unfortunately going to say no to Randy Orton. I can see Rey Mysterio winning a tag team championship, but I don't know about a solo championship at this point. Maybe he gets a little sneaky run with the IC belt or something, but I think I'll cap it at the tag team championships. If your name's Rhea Ripley, there's always a chance that you win a championship. I think Rhea Ripley, it's a shoe-in for her winning a championship in the next year. I mean, to me, for Rhea Ripley, it's world championship or bust. And if she doesn't win at WrestleMania this year, I don't know how she'll get her hands back on the title in the next year, like leading up to WrestleMania 42. But again, it's Rhea Ripley. They'll find a way to get her in the championship picture and probably put the belt back on her. So I think it's more likely than not that she will win a championship. Another big name that I don't think is going to win a world championship or just a championship in general is Roman Reigns. And same thing, like I mentioned earlier, it's world championship or bust for Roman Reigns. I don't think he'd be going after tag team belts, IC belts, or nothing like that. I do think there will be a time where Roman Reigns does come back and wins his championship, whatever. Maybe it's at next year's WrestleMania, but I think you can kind of have him be in prominent big feuds that don't involve a championship. Roxanne Perez should absolutely win a championship in the next year, whether it's a mid-card belt or a world championship belt, because I think she is qualified for either. I think she absolutely could win a world championship on the main roster before she wins a mid-card championship. I don't know what they're doing with her. She's on Raw one week, then she's back on NXT, challenging for the North American Championship or trying to get involved in the North American Championship picture when she was just the Iron Woman and came in second of the Royal Rumble. I don't understand why they have her keep going back and forth. Keep her on the main roster, because if you do, she will definitely win a championship in the next year. Sami Zayn, I think, will always be involved in the mix, getting championship matches, whether it be a mid-card or world championship, but I don't know if I see him winning a solo championship this year. Where I'm at right now, I mean, he's been gone for the last month or so too. I'd put my money on him not winning a championship than I would him winning one. I think Santos Escobar could have a sneaky run as like a US champ or a mid-card champion, or maybe winning a tag team championship, but besides that, I think that's as far as we go. Scarlett doesn't wrestle, at least on live television in WWE, so I'm going to say no to that one. Seth Rollins will always be involved in the championship picture, and I will always be rooting for Seth Rollins to win a championship, but same thing I said with Roman and Punk and other guys, where he's so much more valuable than a championship at this point, where he doesn't need one. It's just a matter of us wanting him to win one. And I do think he will be in the mix, but him winning a world championship or something might be pretty 50-50. It really depends on what stories we have going on. So I'm hopeful of it, but I wouldn't put my money on it. Maybe a tag team championship. Maybe she gets involved in the mid-card championship. I think she could still be a believable champion, an opponent, if they put her in the right story, the right situation. But I'm going to say no. It still pisses me off that Sheamus isn't involved in the Intercontinental Championship picture at WrestleMania, because that would have been the fucking perfect moment for him to win the IC belt and become a Grand Slam champion on the grandest stage in the mall. I can't believe that they're not doing it. It's annoying, it's whatever, but Sheamus needs to win the IC belt this year. He needs to win the one championship he's never won. He's won everything the company has to offer except for the IC belt. Give him a very good championship reign, because Sheamus as the workhorse champion, that's money. It's absolute money. I love Shinsuke Nakamura. I will always have a soft spot for him and always say that he should have won the WWE Championship years ago from AJ Styles. But going off of his last United States Championship reign, we need to keep him and championships far away from each other. I can see Shotzi maybe winning a tag team championship if she's involved in the tag team division in that championship picture, but nah. Solo Sikoa, I think there's a chance, if him and Jacob Fatu have a feud and Jacob wins the US belt, maybe Solo and Jacob have a battle over that. Maybe if this was a year ago, I'd say, yeah, Solo Sikoa for sure winning a championship. But now with Jacob being involved, I don't know. I'm going to say no. Tama Tonga, maybe him and Tonga Loa win tag team championships. I don't see him winning a solo championship. When was the last time she's even been on TV? I'm going to say no. I'm sorry, Miz. I really am. But we're I think the ship has sailed with championship reigns. You had your tag team title reign with R-Truth. We got enough of that. Tommaso Ciampa. Did I skip over Johnny Gargano? We have Tommaso Ciampa. I think I may have skipped over Johnny Gargano. I apologize to Johnny if I did, but I think DIY will very much so be involved in the tag team championship picture over the next year. If they don't disband, if they don't turn on each other, I know there's always like thoughts or rumors of them turning on each other, going solo, but I think being in a tag team is best for both of them. And I do think that if they stay together, there's a good chance they win tag team championships again. I also think I forgot Katana Chance and Caden Carter for some reason. They haven't been treated well at all over the last few months, so I don't know if I have faith that they will get that opportunity. They've been around forever. Like, they're one of the OG women's tag teams, so I don't know why they're not treated as like a threat to the tag team championships, or they should very much so be involved in the tag team championship more than they are already. If it was up to me, he'd win everything. No, I think him winning a tag team championship with Tama Tonga is very likely. I can see the new bloodline winning tag team championships this year. I think Tyler Bate has a good shot at winning a tag team championship with Pete Dunne. Uncle Howdy would be a very interesting champion in WWE, but I don't see Uncle Howdy in a championship going on a date in the next year. I don't see that working out. Xavier Woods, I would love to see him win a mid-card championship, the IC title. I'm rooting for it. One day it should happen, but with this new heel, New Day story stuff going on, I think him and Kofi should definitely win the tag team champions as heels. I think they'd have a solid reign, and it would do a lot for their current story and just their heel characters in general. Yes, 1,000,000,000% yes. Zelina Vega should win a championship the next year, whether it's a mid-card. I mean, it probably would be a mid-card. I don't know if they'd have her compete for a world championship. I thought Zelina Vega should have been at least a finalist for one of the new mid-card women's championships, and I was very upset that she wasn't, but she should be involved in those championship pictures. She deserves it, man. She really does. And Zoe Stark, to close this out, maybe is involved in mid-card championships, but if she does win one, I think it's more likely it's a tag team championship than anything else. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are my thoughts on every WWE main roster superstar and whether I think they will win a championship in the next year or not. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me, you disagree with me. Also, let me know if you want me to do this type of video again with like NXT superstars or any other type of video where I'm like going over the entire WWE roster. It's a lot of talking. We went over a lot of superstars, but this was fun. I think it was a cool opinionated video. Turn on those notification bells so when this video drops and other daily wrestling content comes out, you can watch those videos ASAP. Thank you again, guys, for being here. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.